Join us for this Woodfired workshop where we'll be baking this amazing chocolate prune and almond cake. I can't wait to get stuck into it. Hi everyone, welcome to this Woodfired workshop at Manna from Devon Cooking School. In this workshop we are going to be making a rich, indulgent, delicious chocolate prune and almond cake. It's a gluten-free recipe. We're going to be cooking it in a clear oven in the Bushman Santorini. Let's get started. First thing we need to do is to melt some butter and chocolate together. Now you can do this in a bain-marie, which is super safe. We're going to do it very, very gently and very, very carefully in the wood-fired oven. So I've got an oven here which has been preheated. It's cooling down now. We want it to end up at a little below 200 degrees with the door closed for baking. So it's a falling oven, and so we've just got a gentle heat there which is going to slowly melt the chocolate and the butter together. So when you're doing this with the chocolate and the butter, just be careful that it's not too hot, otherwise the chocolate will seize and go all granular. So very gentle heat. While that's melting, we're going to beat together some eggs and sugar. In here I've got 2 whole eggs, 2 egg yolks, and in here I've got light muscovado and caster sugar. And we're going to beat those together in the Kenwood until they go pale and light. So you can see that that's looking paler and thicker. And if I lift this out and just run it over the surface, you can see how that ribbon stays in place for just a second or so, but that's fine. So not even so hot that I can't touch the saucepan is an ideal sort of temperature to be melting this chocolate. And over here I've got some eggs just whisked up, egg whites whisked up to the soft peak stage. And in this bowl I've got prunes which have been soaked in apple juice. That could have been some masala or something nice and alcoholic like that, but we used apple juice, and then it was blitzed up, and this paste will give us the lovely natural sweetness of prunes. So everything's ready to assemble, but before we put everything together I just want to check the oven. As I said, the oven was preheated and is now cooling down, and we've got a number of thermometers that we can look at to help tell us the temperature. Of course you won't always have this necessarily, but for training purposes we can look at some different things. And first of all, on this one I've got a thermometer under the floor reading just under 200. And if that is the same for the whole mass of the oven, and because it's been settled for so long we can sort of assume it is, then we've got an oven temperature with the door closed falling below 200 degrees, which is just what we want for this cake, a sort of 5 Mississippi 180 degree oven. I can also use the infrared thermometer, and I can check the wall temperatures with those near the bottom, because I'm not going to be cooking up at the top here. So we've got a 190 or so, 175, a little bit hotter over there because that's where I had the fire, so 214. So the average of that is about 200, and so we can assume that we've got something under 180, under 200 degrees. This one at the moment is only reading 100, but I've had the door open for a long time, and that's going to come up in temperature. And I've also got that one sat in the middle there, which you can't quite see the reading on it, but at the moment that's about 100 degrees, and I'm sure that will come up as well. So I'm going to put the door on the oven. I can put it on nice and tight now. And now we'll see the temperature inside there coming up and stabilizing, hopefully, where we need it. Okay, so into my bowl. I'm going to add more or less everything. So in with the prune mixture. And then I'm going to add almonds, cocoa, a teaspoon of vanilla extract, and the chocolate and butter mixture, and then all of that mixed in, and finally in with the beaten egg white, and then I'm going to fold that in rather more gently to try and retain some lightness. Okay, we're ready for the tin. I've got a well-lined tin here, and I'm going to pour that in. We're now ready for the oven. This thermometer has come up to just below 200 degrees. Our inside thermometer is now reading about 180 degrees, so I think we're about spot on there, so I'm happy with that. If I thought it was just a little bit too high, I might close the door, leave the door slightly ajar, but I think that's going to be absolutely fine. So this should cook for 20 to 25 minutes. So we'll look at it after 20 minutes. Before we take a look at the cake, an opportunity to say thank you very much for joining us. And if you enjoy these videos and find them useful, please do give us a thumbs up. Subscribe to our YouTube channel for regular updates. And if you've got any questions about this or any aspect of wood-fired cooking, please put it in the comments below and we will get back to you. We'll provide the recipe and notes for this on our blog and put a link to that below. Let's have a look at the cake. This has been 20 minutes. And we're going to carefully pour this out. There's no point putting a skewer in this cake with all of those prunes and the melted chocolate. It's no good. So we're looking for a crust to have formed on top and for the middle to be just feeling firm. At the moment that feels just ever so slightly too wobbly, which is fine because that was only 20 minutes and it is a 20 to 25 minutes, and I think that other 5 minutes will do the job nicely. So you can see how the thermometers are holding up nicely. So we've got a nice steady oven. That has just firmed up a little more. So I'm happy with that. So still a slight wobble in the middle, but this cake should be gooey in the middle. We're now going to let this cool completely in the tin. At the moment it would be very soft. We're going to let it cool and firm up, and then we'll come back and take it out of the tin.